This is going to be Bloodmaul Slag Mines as a Mistweaver monk. So, finally done with Cataclysm and Mists of Pandaria, and we're moving on to Warlords of Draenor. So, unlike Cataclysm and Mists of Pandaria, and also the pair of Burning Crusade and Wrath of the Lich King, Warlords of Draenor stands alone in its level brackets. So from level 90 to 100, this is all you have access to. Well, from level 91 to 99, I guess. This is all you have access to. They overlap with the ones that end with 0. So, completely new stuff to me. I mean, all the Mists of Pandaria stuff was too. Oh man, look at this barrage from one of these hunters. I think that's a marksmanship thing. Anyway, right, so, Protection Paladin, 2 hunters, and a Frost Mage. Neat. Okay. Hey, cool. Mage put down a thing that I can use to refill my mana when I need that. Yeah, so, Warlords of Draenor, stands alone, in its level bracket, and dungeons here, so, from what I've read from other players who play this game, apparently Warlords was not a very well-liked expansion in general. I found the dungeons to be real solid. I think I understand, like, the activities outside of dungeons seem like they might not have been all that great, but, like, the dungeons are cool. I like them a lot. I forget how many of them there are. It does have that problem where there are a bunch... Okay, so 1 Beast Mastery Hunter, 1 Marksmanship, probably. I guess I was just trying to figure out what was going on with that. Anyway, the dungeons are not very accessible. Like, I start having this problem right around the end of Wrath of the Lich King. More pronounced in Cataclysm, where there are some heroic-only dungeons, and these days when people just speed through the leveling process, nobody's going to spend any time at the one specific level you need to be at to queue for Cataclysm heroic dungeons. Warlords of Draenor has a bunch of level 100 only dungeons. Some that I've never done to this day. Legion has a bunch of level 110 only dungeons. Some that I've never done to this day. I'll try to find a way to do them in a group setting somehow, sometime. There's a split in the path there. You can go left or right. Both routes are valid. It looks like we've chosen to go left here. Okay, Silence Field. Don't stand in that. It says Silence. I believe that means more than just you can't cast spells. It also means you can't perform any attacks. So yeah, stand in that. You can't really do anything, so just move out of it, I guess. Anyway, yes, so, dungeons kind of don't seem to be the main activity in Warlords of Draenor, even though they're pretty cool. The experience I had with both of the characters I've so far had through this expansion, this one and my mage, is that there are very high item level requirements to get into the dungeons compared to what I'm going to have going into them. At the leveling speed the way that it is now, my item level is always lagging behind where my character level is. And I have to work really hard to get my item level up, you know, find some actual upgrades, and in the process probably get a whole bunch of experience and try not to move out of the level bracket too quickly. So find a bunch of item upgrades so that I am eligible in the Dungeon Finder with its minimums to actually queue for a dungeon. So let's, when this combat ends, let me see what level I am now. This is a level 90 eligible dungeon. I am 91. Okay, that's not too bad. But yeah, like, it takes work to get to the point where I'm eligible to queue for each dungeon in this expansion. And yeah, like, my character level outpaces the expansion before my item level catches up. So, I end up doing a lot of quests out in the world, to try to get items that I need, but I don't know. It's weird. Like, I have trouble getting into these. A bunch of them are in time walking. It's pretty cool. I want to say there's like 9 or 10 total, something like that. Which ones can I name? Bloodmaul Slag Mines, Auchindoun, Iron Docks, Skyreach, Shadowmoon Burial Grounds. I think I just named all the time walking ones. The most memorable. Outside of time walking, there's also a few others. Yeah, it's like 8 or 9, I think. Anyway, right, so this place is on fire. We were fighting ogres, now we're fighting fire elementals because the ogres let their fires get out of control, something something. Coming up on what can be the first boss on the route we've chosen. Look at this barrage! This hunter's just like filling the entire world with bullets all the time. It's very flashy and obvious. Huh. I think this is one of those events where you gotta keep going because things are respawning. We have to get to the end, so these searing embers stop coming at us, or whatever they're called. Is that what they're called? I don't know. Yeah, there's a big fire there. Yeah, searing ember, that's it. Fire hot hot hot. As far as healing requirements go, on normal this looks pretty normal, you know, what I'd expect for a normal dungeon. I have time walked this one. Oh, right, now hold on, I just passed level 90, so I have something new that I'm just noticing that I was using there. So that's Refreshing Jade Wind on my equals key. That is not a talent I stick with. I try it once for this dungeon and see how I like it, then end up finding something that I like much, much better. So right. On my healing bar there, I can press the equal key to put this little tornado of healing around myself, so everybody who's near me for the next some number of seconds will just take a little bit of healing from being near me. Seemed kinda cool, it was a little bit annoying to keep it up, and it turned out there was a talent that I vastly preferred. So this is the only time you'll see Refreshing Jade Wind. I am usually kind of up close to the person I want to be healing, because I want to be in melee so I can do my attacks and stuff. But still, I don't know, it's kind of noisy on the screen. I don't really like seeing it all the time. And I don't know, there's a much better talent that I can take that I will. So we'll see that next dungeon probably. But yeah, first new ability in a little while. Forge Master Gogda. He's not really the boss here, is he? He's the pre-boss, I think. He's trying to stop the fire, unsuccessfully. Yeah, that dude over there on the left, he's the real boss here, I think. I saw that there was dust on the ground before I got stunned. I probably could have moved out of that to not get stunned, I would guess. Yeah, it happened again, so that looks like a you're about to get stunned effect. Maybe I shouldn't be standing so close. Here it comes again. No, it didn't. Magmolidus. Okay, so that's your name. Calamity, who's that? Okay, Calamity's here, apparently. Yeah, okay, he has his own little boss bar there, so this is like a council of bosses sort of thing. There's Magmolidus. Alright, so you're the real boss here. Yep, there comes the smash again. Now I'm stunned. I can see it so clearly now. This barrage, is that the right thing to be using on single targets? That seems like the sort of attack that you'd only use when there's like a whole bunch of enemies around. I wonder if this hunter knows what she's doing. Just curious. I haven't played a marksmanship hunter in many years. It's changed completely since last time I did. Oh wait, they both have it now. Maybe it's not just a marksmanship thing, because at least one of them was Beast Mastery. Maybe that's a level 90 talent, since I hadn't been seeing it until now. That would make a lot of sense. My hunter's not there yet. I was surprised to see that Fury Warriors nowadays actually do get Bladestorm very late as a talent they can opt into. I thought that was an Arms Warrior signature ability, but Fury gets it too, apparently. At a certain level. Yeah, so Refreshing Jade Wind, not very strong, not very interesting, a little annoying to keep up. That's what I think of it. Maybe it'd be fine if it wasn't so completely overshadowed by Jade Serpent Statue, which is the one I end up taking. Anyway, so let's see. We went left first. I'm guessing we're going to turn right here and go back around the semicircle to the other side. There's an extra mini-boss if you do take the path to the left. That's a hallway right there that we don't end up traversing during this dungeon run. It's called Slagna, and looks like the second boss of Ragefire Chasm. I think it's the second? Third? The big magma worm. That'd be the third one, yeah. It's not a full boss. Doesn't do anything particularly interesting, but it's there. It's a little mini-event over in that hallway. But we won't be seeing it this time. So yeah, really seeing the Mastery come into play now. You saw those big, 1,000-some critical heal on my, when I first put the Renewing Mist onto that Taran there. One of those hunters is doing things they probably shouldn't. Starting combat with, things that the Paladin hadn't hit yet. Usually just super annoying for one person in the dungeon. It's very noticeable when I'm playing the role as that person. Subjugate, I wonder what that does. Could be a channeled stun effect. I think that's what it is, actually, yeah. So, like, as long as Subjugate is being channeled on you, you can't move, maybe? Let's see if one of them does it to me. There's, like, a lot of slavery going on in here, and, like, slavery-themed enemy abilities. It makes me a little uncomfortable, but that's what this place is, apparently. Yeah, like this next boss especially. Yup. Sure is a slave master, apparently. Yes, I think most of the time I've been through here, the route has taken me to the right first, so this would be the first boss coming up here. And Magmolidus and friends would be the second one. I'm using all of my buttons to stop that frightening roar from going off. I don't have a hard interrupt, but I have leg sweep, I have quaking palm, and I have paralysis. And I can use all three to briefly stop a cast. And I did successfully keep that terrifying roar from going off, so nobody got feared there. What's going on back here? Okay, there were some extra dudes in combat. Here comes a frightening roar. Yep, and I get feared. Oh, it's the kind of fear that just freezes me in place. The less annoying kind. It's loss of control, yes. But at least it doesn't send me flying to the other side of the room and, like, wedge me in some geometry that's impossible to get out of. There's a spot in Shadow Labyrinth where this just keeps on happening to me. Like, I get feared and my character just makes a beeline for this, like, gap between the wheel of a cart and the cart itself is just sitting off to the side. It's happened twice in this really improbable spot. It's very annoying, and I just can't really get myself out of it. Wait. Oh, I was mistaken about the silence, okay. There are other effects that look like that and are also called silence that work as described, but apparently in this one, it's just a silence. I can still use my abilities. Like, my hands and feet. Just not my mouth. It doesn't sound like my character is using her mouth to cast spells. She uses her hands and feet. Ugh. Yep. That's you. Slave Watcher Crushto. Crushto? Oh hey, Time Warp. Mage-flavored Bloodlust. We also have 2 hunters who could do hunter-flavored Bloodlust if they wanted to. It's Bloodlust, okay? Horde Shamans got it first, so that's what everybody calls it, even though it's Heroism for Alliance Shamans, Time Warp for Mages, Bestial Vigor, Bestial Wrath? Primal Rage? Primal Rage, that's the one. Bestial Wrath's something else. Primal Rage for Hunters. Drums of War for Leatherworkers, so I have a Bloodlust that I can use, if I have the appropriate items crafted for it. All the same effect under different names. But Bloodlust was the original, so that's what everybody knows it as. Get that one. So he is setting his minions on a particular party member. So fixation is happening here, therefore I need to switch targets to heal. Because the tank can't, mechanically speaking, cannot hold all of the threat. Oh! There's a cutscene here? What? Am I gonna let this play? So far I have been. Okay, so that's why you gotta fight those 2 bosses. Or at least him? I think you gotta fight both. So that shows you more of the dungeons open now. By standing here and watching this, people haven't wandered off too far. Somebody clicked on the map to show where to go. I think that was as much for the hunter turning left as it was for me just lingering behind. Yeah, okay, so that cinematic wasn't so long that I couldn't get away with watching it. But I think most of the time from here on out, even if I've never seen it before, I kind of opt to skip those. I'd like to include them just for, like, completeness. The problem is there are 4 other people in the dungeon with me, and most of those 4 other people opt to skip and then just run off immediately and get themselves into trouble. And I'm stuck watching a movie somewhere and I can't see the trouble they're getting into or do anything about it. So yeah, just the dynamics of having cutscenes in your dungeon just, I feel like, do not work. They will always lead to the scene always being skipped, even on the first watch. Or possible problems resulting from not doing that. Certainly wouldn't be any better to have them be mandatory. I mean, sometimes you can just, like, see things happening as you still keep control over your character and your camera angle and everything. Tar trap? Why? That's an odd choice, but okay. Another tar trap. So one of these hunters, okay, they do move around and do that. Perhaps tar trap does make a difference. Okay, I see why it's being used. Got it. Stone Bolt, look at that spell. It's an earth-flavored, you know, it's a Stone Bolt. That's interesting. Not something player characters get access to. There's no earth specialization for mage. I was in that crush? I was standing behind you, so I guess it's not just necessarily a cone in front of you. It reaches behind, too. Okay, good to know. Roll tall. This boss is going to push us back on this bridge, right? There's going to be a wind effect here, I think. And I want to say this is sort of like... Or no, there are boulders. Okay, so boulder coming to my location. I stood right in it because I wasn't sure what was happening. And standing right in, I'd like moved to the center of that circle. I don't think I did that on purpose. It wasn't a big deal, at least not a normal. Yeah, here's the wind. I'm fighting against it. I want to say there's something going on here that's kind of like Alteris on Vortex Pinnacle, where like the wind increases your casting speed somehow or something. I wasn't seeing it happen there though. That's like a normal length of essence font channeling. But I remember something about cast speed increasing during this fight. I don't know, I'm not seeing it here. Either I'm misremembering or I don't understand how it works or it doesn't apply to healing spells or something. I don't know. Maybe it's heroic / time walking only. Not sure. Alright, so I guess that's third boss. And one more to go, I believe? Looks like it. And we're almost to him. So yeah, pretty straightforward dungeon. You know, fork in the road at the start, but you gotta take both forks, fight 2 dudes to open up the place where the forks join, and then fight 2 more dudes and you're done. It's basic, but it's a lot of fun. Flash of light. I wasn't keeping you topped off enough? Okay. You wanted to be all the way at full health for this run through this empty hallway. At least you're not casting it in combat, and disabling your shield block and dodge and stuff. Fortunately, that is a behavior in new protection paladins that tends to go away when they're no longer new protection paladins and, you know, are past like level 30 or so. From what I've seen, at least. It is not necessarily obvious that doing a hard cast of a spell is a problem when you need to be blocking attacks. It doesn't like say on the tooltip, oh, he is doing it, never mind. Okay. Maybe he's been doing it that whole time and I haven't been noticing. Anyway, yeah, it doesn't like say on the tooltip that it disables blocking and dodging. You just kind of have to know. And I think that's a little unfortunate, but, you know. This place really is all about fire. Much fire all over here. I'm using my bootleg interrupts to do what I can to stop spellcasts from going off. That fire doesn't do much. I did bother to move out of it, but it looks, you know, big and flashy for, like, the tiny little bit of damage it seems to actually do. Like, is it even dealing damage? Oh, not when nobody's standing in it. Okay, so that's easy to move out of. They don't turn to face their target continuously. Yeah, okay, so just move behind and they'll keep channeling in the same direction. Okay, that's cool. The joy of Draenor cooking. Neat. No time to read that now. Oh, he's wearing a Winter Veil hat. It's still Winter Veil time? Okay. Huh. I thought we'd be out of that time of year by now, but I guess not yet. Unstable Slag has like a little fire beam on somebody. That reminds me of Draga Shadowburner. So maybe it's the sort of thing where you gotta kill before it gets to its fixated target, or it'll explode and deal a lot of damage or something. That seems likely. Even though I've run this dungeon a few times, I'm not like super familiar with it. Again, this is a new expansion for me, having to learn from scratch. Just running through a dungeon a few times doesn't mean I'm familiar with all the mechanics. Running through in every dungeon roll usually does. But I still sometimes get surprised. Alright, looks like we're almost done here. He's removing all the safe ground. But then it repairs itself as soon as he falls over. Isn't that nice? Alright, cool. Fun place. Yeah, dungeons in this expansion are real solid. Alright, I'll see you next time.